We've got a few more great comedians for you guys. This guy also coming to the stage, also just got moved to paid regular here at Comedy Works. You guys are going to love him. Ladies and gentlemen, Noah Reynolds. Let him hear it.
Thanks, Steve. Nasty show. I hope you guys are ready. Joe! Okay, let me just say this. This man is Joe. Thank you guys so much for coming out to the show. Joe is my biggest fan. He's the only person who's ever bought merchandise from me. He also has his friends with him, I guess. And I gotta be honest, he terrifies me. He absolutely does. Who would like me? So thank you, Joe, for coming to the fucking show. He saw my Instagram post. Awesome. This is the nasty show. I'm gonna be very nasty. Let me eat your shit. Okay, stuff like that. Does anybody have any chicken fingers? Shove them in my ass! That was so convenient. Goodness, this is the nasty show. What else? You know what I mean? Gosh. And I don't always perform great in front of Joe. I will say that. He is wearing one of my shirts as we speak. I'm not going to do crowd work, Joe. Please don't. By the way, follow Sammy on Instagram. Joe, do not follow me home. That's what I would say. Thank you so much. Nasty show. I'm nasty. Let me smell your fingers. No.
He's a cochino.
I'm nervous. I'm scared. But you guys can all see. My merchandise is for sale. Joe, why don't you go, you can stand up and show them. This is a Planned Parenthood shirt. Yeah, thank you guys. Now that is a joke I may or may not do tonight. Wonderful, nasty show. Man, what a wonderful, by the way, real quick, is anyone here not from the city of Denver? Not from the city of Denver? Watch this, I could do any accent. Sir, where are you from? Huh?
Texas.
Okay, somebody else. Somebody who doesn't have a stupid answer. Two types of people in Texas, you know what I mean? Cows and gay people. Nasty show. Somebody else who doesn't have is not from a dumb state. Yes, back there, where are you from?
Wisconsin.
This was a stupid idea. This was a dumb, stupid idea. This was dumb. I can't. Wisconsin? What the hell? Well, welcome to our beautiful state. Welcome. Welcome. I am from Denver. I'm from the city of Denver. Thank you so much. Hold on, guys. You know, I don't know why I'm so. My biggest fan is here, so that's why I'm a little on edge. Yeah, I'm from Denver. I'm from the city of Denver, and I take great pride in being from this city. I was walking around the other day, and I saw somebody giving a historic tour of Denver, and I'm like, heck yeah, gosh yeah. There's so much history in this city. But it pisses me off that somebody who moved from Texas or Wisconsin, where the fuck that is, some Indian reservation, people who move from those places are giving tours of my city, my goddamn city, right? These streets raised me. Dare I say I put on for my city? So I'd be like, what'll do way better than an uninterested comedy crowd on a Wednesday night? Noah's Historic Tours of Denver. I know this goddamn city. So I'll be walking around. Anybody could join me. Well, Noah's Historic Tours of Denver, ladies only. Noah's Historic Tours of Denver. This year is Eric's dad's house. Eric's dad let us drink in the basement for many, many years and then got a cocaine problem. Historic Tours of Denver with Noah this year. This year is Bromwell Elementary School. This is where, I don't want to name names, but somebody forgot to pick somebody up from Taekwondo practice. Twice. No Fat Chicks, 300 Days of Sunshine, Historic Tours of Denver with Noah. This year's my favorite building. This building was a Burger King where in 2007, a Pro Bowl Denver Bronco was shot to death on New Year's Eve. And now it's a Pilates and frozen yogurt place. Learn more about your city, please. Texas, I don't even know where to begin with that one, you know? I mean, that's right. I'm not even going to begin. Wisconsin, my aunt lives in Wisconsin. So. Man, things are a bummer these days, you guys. Things are such a bummer. That's why, you know, you open up the news, it's like breaking news. You're short and have red hair and a tiny penis, and your parents hate you. This is the stuff I'm reading in the news. So I like to generally only read news articles about dogs and puppies and the like. I read an article about a dog that's teaching kids to read at the Westminster Public Library. Right, and I'm like, no wonder kids are so stupid these days, right? And then I was like, wait a second, I used to be a kid, and I can't read or write or talk good, so maybe if a dog was my teacher, I'd be a better member of society, right? In fact, instead of giving teachers guns, why don't we replace all teachers with dogs? And then give those dogs guns. Gotta be honest, if my math teacher was a golden retriever with an automatic weapon, I would not miss a day of math. I'd be good at math. I would actually be good at math, and maybe spelling, and word talk. The dog news, you guys, it's always breaking. Or barking! It's the nasty show, but you gotta make yourself laugh sometimes, folks. I read this barking dog news article, and reading this article made me realize why we're so divided in this country. That apparently there is a dog that is the bat boy for the minor league baseball team in Las Vegas. Now, I don't know if you guys know shit about anything, but dogs don't get to be bat boys. Boys get to be bat boys. So what's happening in this fucking country is it's not the immigrants or computers taking your jobs, it's your goddamn house pets you buy food for. I don't give a fuck. I will sniff for drugs at the airport, okay? I will hold a blind man's hand around all day. You don't think I'd be good for stress? Okay. Dogs, they're running the place. They're even being elected to public office. Yeah, Duke is a Bernese Mountain Dog. Beautiful dog, great. And he was elected to mayor of Georgetown, Colorado, up here in the mountains. We have some Georgetown voters, great. You voted for a mayor. Dog. Words hard. The dog mayor of Georgetown, Colorado is pro-cop, pro-gun, and anti-mailman. And that's the kind of joke that doesn't hurt people's feelings, even though this is the nasty show. It doesn't have to be the unkind show. Okay, Matt? I think that's a lesson we should all take home with us. Anyway, that's how you know I'm losing it, with a big ol' anyway. That's a real pro move, anyway. Go ahead and say anyway in the middle of your set. Yeah. No, sorry, that was not a command or an ask. It was actually just my inner monologue speaking out on stage. Nasty show. Guys, I'm trying to grow up and do grown-up things. I'm doing an okay job at it. I currently live in a one-bedroom apartment. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. With like 4 or 5 other guys. Depending on the day. Every day that ends in Y, there's like 4 or 5 other guys there. I bet you wish you could get guys' night as much as you used to. I bet you don't get guys' time as much as you used to. Ha ha ha. No, but actually, I crave companionship. I envy you, brother. Oh, man. So it's a dude's night every night. It's not a big deal. We love it. And we're dealing with a home issue. We have a mouse in the house. Uh-oh, mouse in the house. Incredible fodder for comedy. I can't wait to hear what Noah has to say. That's you people. So we have a mouse in the house. We were trying to get something, get it fixed or whatever. And the guys were like, why don't we call somebody to solve this problem? And I was like, wait a second, bros. I used to kill and torture small animals and rodents when I was a kid. Why should we get somebody to do a job I could do for free? And for fun, frankly, sir. I can see you're gazing away, but I just don't know. I mean, isn't it crazy that if you're killing little animals as a child, you're a sociopath, but you do it when you're 18 years old, you have a full-time job? So we did this this generation, they don't want to roll up the sleeves and do the job yourself. So we called somebody. Does anybody here know Mike, or rather, does anyone know Anchor Pest Control? Okay, does anyone know Mike from Anchor Pest Control? It's supposed to be the funny part, I say a second. Okay, great. It would have been so much easier if you guys would have known this man. But it sounds like almost none of you do. So I'll just go ahead. This guy, Mike from Anchor Pest Control, comes into my home. He's like, Noah, I'm Mike from Anchor Pest Control. I've been killing mice for 15 fucking years, okay? I started in 2007, 6 years after 9/11. I'm like, okay, Mike, I don't know what that has to do with anything. He's like, Noah, nobody is better at killing mice, and nobody likes killing mice more than me, Mike from Anchor Pest Control. I'd do it for free if they fucking let me. This guy's a blabber. He continues. He's a blabber. He goes on. He's like, Noah, if your home is not mouse-free in 2 to 52 weeks, you can fuck my wife. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Right, because this guy is at work, essentially. He's on the clock. He's getting paid for this. Finally, he goes, he's like, Noah, I like to catch a mouse like somebody would catch a fish. You teach a man to mouse, he mouses for a day. You give a man a mouse, I'm like, this guy's drunk, right? This guy's totally drunk and has poison. And he's gonna hide poison in my home, wherever the fuck? So the thesis of this story is find a passion, okay? Find something you're absolutely undeniable at, and be good at it. Do you have a passion, sir? Is it going to comedy and hating every bit of it? Because I gotta be honest, that's my passion. I've hated every bit of it. Sitting in the front row and just not liking anybody. That's a fun hobby. I'm gonna sit in the front and show them I'm not having a good time. You're like me on any car trip I've ever had in my entire life. You have a beautiful smile too, what the hell? See, nasty doesn't have to be mean, folks. Joe, thank you so much. Now your smile could use some work, no? That's my biggest fan, you guys, come on. Oh no, you didn't, no, that was not what that was supposed for. It was just more of a reminder that, Joe, if you die, I have to kill myself. That's the agreement Joe and I made. If Joe, and by the way, if I die, guess what? Let me check my texts. No text. Have you guys ever had your phone off for forever and been like, I can't wait to turn it on, see all this fucking texts I've been getting and all the goddamn breaking news. And then you look, you're like, no, somebody actually took away a text that they sent earlier. They're like, I would rather you don't anymore.
No.
Nasty show. Guys, you know what I'm really excited for? I'm really excited for these Cybertrucks. Yeah. I'm excited to know who the worst people are in the world at any given time. And to be able to point them out on the street. There he goes again, the worst asshole. I've just been collecting license plate numbers of various Cybertrucks. I should say various. Every single Cybertruck I see around, and in case I get into an accident or see a hit and run, I just give the police the various license plate numbers. Oh yeah, it was definitely a Cybertruck that hit that lady and that kid and the dog. I have the number right here. We're tracking these people, and I think that's good. Thanks. Thanks. That's my reaction to it. No, thanks, really. Who would have thought that 10 years ago, Hummer drivers would be the forward-thinking, progressive people in this country? I would take a bullet for a Hummer driver if it was shot out of a Cybertruck. Hummer driver, that's a feller that could date my daughter. You know? You can make an argument, and I shall, you can make an argument that Tesla is maybe the most controversial car company since Mercedes in 1941. Weird. Okay. I'd say weird. Man, I thought the Mercedes Nazi Holocaust thing was really gonna crush, and it didn't, so I'm now a little flustered. Joe, help me out here. You know all my jokes. You know what I think? I got some really bad news recently. News that you will not find in the newspaper. My parents have decided that they are going to sell my childhood home. I know. Thank you so much. Unbelievable, right? The goddamn memories in that place. I learned to walk in that home. And then like 6-7 years later, I was talking and stuff, and that was a huge accomplishment. I lost a gun in the basement, I think, is where it is. Never really could find it. Man, if those walls in that house could talk, folks, if those walls in that house could talk, they'd probably be like, Noah, why do you take a shower with a swimsuit on? Thank God those fucking walls can't talk, people, because if they could, they'd probably be like, Noah, why do you get hard when you fart? I know nothing about real estate, but I do hope that home is destroyed with all of its secrets. I'm going to say this, you guys. I'm moving on. I'm going to say this, and it shall be the last time I say it. If you gave me 10,000 guesses as to what the first name of the new famous assassin was going to be, I don't think I'd get Luigi in a million guesses. Huh? Luigi? Why are people not talking more about this? It makes me uncomfortable. That's a great name. Every single assassin throughout history has had to have 3 names. You know, John, Luke, and you guys know the 3 names ones. Give me one. The RZA, the Jizza, Ghostface Killer. Right, okay. Joe, come on, take a breather. This is the only assassin that is going to go around having one name. And I actually kind of find it offensive that this guy is going to usurp the hardworking immigrant Italian plumber, Luigi, that we have all known and loved throughout the years. I will say that I think that killing people is bad. I think generally you shouldn't do it, even if it's to prove a point. Pretty cool point, though, and pretty cool. But I should say generally, don't do it. Like, if I just decided to kill all the CEOs that have ever done me wrong, you know, there just would be no more CEOs. Baby Gap, kill that guy. Nothing fits. And if there are any scientists in here, this is totally off. If there are any scientists in here that could tell me why a youth extra large fits me better than a man's human medium, I would love the answer. Because otherwise, I feel like I'm going absolutely nuts. No scientists. Cool, we've gotten rid of them already. It's not a bad idea.
They were fired.
What?
They were fired.
We're not getting into politics tonight, ma'am. Speaking of which, I am a sports fan. I've given up on that joke. How about that? Totally just stopped doing it, and I'm not gonna finish. This is art, though, don't you think? Shove those fucking tenders on my ass. Oh God. I'm not stalling. No, I'm not stalling to think of my next joke. So before you think of something like that, think of who you're talking to. That's something a professional wouldn't do, is stall and just talk and talk and talk to the crowd until they, for fucking some reason, can think of what possibly the next joke could be. That's unprofessional. That's something if I were to sit in the front row and look at, I would be glazing over and be uninterested in at every single given point. Stalling? Are you kidding me? No! I actually find it personally offensive. What do you think about that? I find it personally offensive that you would think that that is what I'm doing right now. This is a fucking business. And by the way, give it up for the staff here at Comedy Works. Yeah. And you guys have just been great, too. You guys have been wonderful. I don't think people say that enough to the crowd. You guys have been wonderful. Good smile.
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day, yes ma'am, it's in several days. So, in case you guys were wondering, St. Patrick's Day is not today, but it is in fact on the 17th. Good chime in, thank you. I am a sports fan, you guys. I'm not going to talk politics. I am a sports fan, and I like to stay informed. But they do say these things these days. They say, why don't we take politics out of sports? And I'm like, heck yeah, gosh yeah, take politics out of sports. You know, if somebody's going to tell a 350 fucking pound offensive lineman what he or she can and cannot say, it's going to be me. Sign me up. Hey, you can't say that. That's me talking to an NFL player. They're huge. But like if you take politics out of sports, ladies and gentlemen, what do you have to do? You have to put sports into politics. So like for instance, one day I'll be up there in Washington, D.C., which is wherever the fuck. I can never find it on a map. And they'll be like, yeah, the gentleman from, I'm elected to Congress in this scenario. They'll be like, yeah, the gentleman from Colorado. And I'll be like, yeah, point of privilege, Mr. Speaker. You want to talk about abortion? How about the end of the Broncos season? That was a goddamn abortion, you know what I mean? No, I won't sit down. I do think elected officials and politicians should just be taking HGH and other performance-enhancing drugs, you know? We'll be looking back at the steroid era of Congress. People will be bitch moaning and complaining. And I'll be like, yeah, but they're batting .320 and above, you dumb asshole. People get very religious about sports. You know, it's a passion and people become, it's almost like a religion. And I'm from Denver and Colorado, and many people here in this city and state are Broncos fans. In fact, if you go into any house of worship in Colorado, they'll tell you God is a Broncos fan because the sky is blue and the sunset is orange. Right, wonderful sentiment. But we also all know God. And God was the one that gave kids cancer and let the Holocaust happen. So if anything, God roots for the Chiefs. Nasty show. Thank you guys so much. You've been Paul. Give it up for Matt. I mean Steve. Give it up for Steve. I said.
Noah Reynolds, he fucks everybody. Fuck yeah.